Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chronicles on the Focus, the podcast where we delve deep into the lives and works of fascinating figures. I'm your host, Bob, and with me, as always, is the wonderfully witty Alice.
Hey folks, and Bob, today's subject is positively honey sweet.
Indeed, Alice. Today we're exploring the surprisingly complex life of A. Milne, the man behind the beloved Winnie-the-Pooh. Most people only know him for Pooh, but his story is far richer than honey and honeypots.
Exactly. He wasn't just some guy who happened to stumble upon a bear and a bunch of woodland creatures. He was a successful playwright, a soldier, a war correspondent, and even a bit of a literary feud-embroiled figure. Talk about a multifaceted personality.
Did you know, Alice, that before Winnie-the-Pooh, Milne was a respected playwright? He actually had a pretty successful career writing plays for the stage before the little bear took over his life, and essentially his legacy. His work spanned several genres, including murder mysteries and humor. That, Red House Mystery, was a proper whodunit.
And speaking of mysteries, the inspiration behind Winnie the Pooh itself is a bit of a mystery too. We all know the story about Christopher Robin and the bear, but the actual origin of the name, Winnie, is fascinating. It's from a Canadian black bear named Winnipeg, kept as a military mascot during World War I.
And then there's the Pooh part. Apparently, that comes from a swan, not a bear, a swan named Pooh, owned by young Christopher Robin. Who knew swans could be so influential?
It's amazing how many layers there are to this story, isn't it? Plus, E.H. Shepard, the illustrator, used his own son's teddy bear, Growler, as the model for Pooh. So Pooh isn't just one bear, it's a whole family of bears.
And the 100-acre wood? That's actually based on Ashdown Forest in East Sussex. It's a real place, and a popular tourist destination now, thanks to Milne and Pooh. You can even visit Pooh Sticks Bridge.
That's incredible. I always thought it was entirely fictional. But you know, beyond the whimsical world of Pooh, Milne also served in both World Wars. Can you believe it? A writer in the trenches.
He was a lieutenant in World War I and a captain in the Home Guard during World War II. And get this, he even had a rather public feud with P.G. Wodehouse after Wodehouse's broadcasts from Nazi-occupied France during the war. A bit of a dramatic life for a man so associated with cuddly bears.
A fascinating mix of the gentle and the dramatic. A writer of children's literature who's also a soldier and a controversial figure in wartime Britain. A. Milne was certainly a man of many talents and contradictions. That is what makes his life so interesting, don't you think?
Absolutely, Alice. A life less ordinary, filled with unexpected twists and turns. A perfect example of how the seemingly simple can hold so much depth. Thanks for joining us on Chronicles on the Focus, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating stories behind the stories.